Good morning. It is 6:14 a.m. on what day is today? Thursday? Yeah, January 14th, 2016. I'm Christiana Ellis and I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. So, a couple of things quick updates that I'll get through before I think what my main topic will be. One is that the jigsaw puzzle has been going great. I'm only still just, starting to make progress, assembling some of the little recognizable bits and pieces. Like there's this one little black cat thing on there, and that's the only black thing on there. So I sorted through and found all the black pieces and assembled that little piece. And, various little chunks that are getting attached to the edges. But when I say it's going well, what I mean is that it has been satisfying. One of the things that I sometimes find is that, I'll have lots of potential leisure activities sort of, available on deck. Like, oh, well, do I want to play a video game? Which one? There's like 7 different games that I might play. I could watch TV, I could watch a movie. What else could I do? And so now that I've added the puzzle in there, what I find is that I'm drawn to it. Like, that's what I feel like doing. Even occasionally when there's a little bit of a weird nagging sense of like, oh, shouldn't I be trying to finish Fallout? Or something like that, which, first of all, I have to remind myself is nonsense. There's no should about it. In any case, I've been enjoying the jigsaw puzzles quite a bit. I've got it set up on the table, the same table as my arrow garden back there. And so that's been going well. The other just brief thing, I don't know, maybe this merits a longer conversation tomorrow or something, but comic books came out yesterday, including Secret Wars #9, which is the conclusion of this big long-running event that Marvel Comics has been doing, and I just found it a very satisfying conclusion to an excellent story. It's one of the best event comics that I think I've ever read, and this one is more than just a regular event because it really kind of encompassed the whole Marvel universe. So I really liked it. But so the main thing though that I wanted to kind of talk about today is just like what are some of my plans for my serial Phyllis Esposito Interdimensional Private Eye. Because when I started it, you may recall back on January 1st, I didn't really have a lot of idea where it was going to go or what are my long-term plans for it. It was really just kind of an experiment to say, well, let's try this for a little while, see how it goes. And so that's what I've been doing. But at least how is it going? Well, so far at least it's been going pretty well. I'm enjoying the process. I'm 2 weeks in now. I haven't missed a day. That's not to say that I'm hereby swearing that I will have an installment up every single day or else the whole thing will explode. But I've not missed a day so far. I'm not planning on missing any. Well, what else do I want to do with it? Is this something that, I know that serial fiction, day to day, almost like a webcomic except no picture, is not something I see a lot of out there. Maybe I'm looking in the wrong places, but I'm not aware of it, and so that's almost certainly true that a lot of people aren't. And it may well be that while some people will enjoy it, I sure enjoy writing it, not everybody wants that particular medium of story delivery, and so what other ways might I make use of the writing that's already been done in a way that other people, even more people, could enjoy? So I put a question up on like Twitter and Facebook the other day, asking about a couple of different potential options. One was do I want to just have a blog post where I kind of edit together all the different stories? I wouldn't really be doing a lot of editing. I think it would just be, having them all in a row instead of separate posts. Or potentially putting out like an ebook where they're all kind of together like that, collected? Or what about doing like a live reading on Google Hangout, and then I'd have a YouTube video of it, and also audio, or just audio. Like do it like a podcast. Collect the chapters every so often, and I've not. Thanks, Luna. That's really helpful. I don't know that it would necessarily be a regular amount. Like, it might be like, 14 installments this time, 10 in the next time. Just, I'm not sure if I've decided how that would be broken up. But to be sure, of the options presented, the audio was by far the biggest hit. That was what most people requested, and so I'm definitely thinking on that. My guess would be, once I get my act together, is that the podcast versions, which will collect, like somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 to 14 installments per episode, would be following along. So like the daily posts are going to be ahead. But if someone only really wants to listen to the audio, that would be following, along behind as I am able to produce them. And then I might do ebook versions too. But here's where it gets tricky: is that I think Patreon is great, but I'm a little bit wary of doing something like that myself. Not to say that I wouldn't, but just I don't know. I mean, I haven't tried it, and I have to confess a little bit of this is not like a criticism of Patreon at all. It's more like anxiety of like, am I right for Patreon, that sort of thing, so, or even something like that. But the point is just that Luna is chewing on a little plastic dish here, which I think she should not. The point just being, this is a perfect example of something which I've always felt was a good model for the Patreons that I support, which is there's content available for free, but then there's sort of premium content or premium access to content that is made available through, to donors. And this seems like an excellent potential model for that, is that if people want to just read the posts every day, they can still do that. But maybe if they want to buy the or support the creation of the audio, then that's something that they could donate for. But I haven't done anything like that before, and so it's sort of anxiety inducing. I don't really have any conclusions drawn yet, but those are some of the things I'm thinking about right now. In any case, I'm definitely still enjoying writing the story itself, and so I am going to continue doing that for a while, at least. And it's good. I've actually decided, just in terms of making navigation even simpler, that today's installment is going to be the end of chapter 1, which is just kind of, breaking the larger story. We've got the daily chunks, but then super chunks that just, people can break some arcs into pieces just for ease of later navigation. Another just brief question that I've been turning over in my head is that, like yesterday, the scene I was writing just kind of kept going. I've been targeting each daily installment being somewhere in the neighborhood of like minimum 500 words. That's been kind of the lower end target, but then I've usually been kind of just letting whatever that scene is go to, once I cross 500, I'm kind of looking for a landing point at that point. But this scene went longer, to where it's more than twice as long as that. And so it occurred to me that if I found a spot in the middle, to be the stopping point, then I could have that be 2 days worth. And I think that would be a legitimate way to do it. It was a little bit against the spirit of the project in the sense that I'm writing each day's installment as I go. So writing ahead to say, oh, I am today on Thursday going to be writing Friday and Saturday's post so that I don't have to write one tomorrow. That is like part of the whole idea is that I'm writing it as I go, that I'm writing a little bit at a time, and as a consequence, working on it every day. So I don't know that I'm necessarily doing myself any favors by being rigid on that particular rule. But in any event, for this particular example, I decided to go ahead and have the longer installment just still be today's post and then still have to write a new one for tomorrow. But I don't know. I am open to re-examining some of these rules at some point. Anyway, this was long, so I hope that it was at least partially interesting for people. And if you have feedback on any of these things that I'm talking about, I am absolutely interested. I don't know what the hell I'm doing with this project, and so definitely soliciting feedback. All right. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow for 5 more minutes.